Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I am here.
Play.
Nothing but excitement.
Right there! Down you go!
How are you using?
Something you need? I'm sure either my boy or I can help you out. I'm sure you'll be pleased with...
Yes.
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 Off I go.
And I'm off. Huh. Going. Yes.
Arleman sends his regards. Arleman sends his regards, Warden. We're trying to keep the roads clear and safe.
Huh.
Arleman sends his regards, Warden. We're trying to keep the roads clear and safe. Arleman sends his regards, Warden.
Oh, my. I did not expect it to be this crowded. I've never seen an elf down here before.
Yes? Oh? What was this about? How sad it is to see a Grey Warden manipulated. But I have no time to straighten this out for you. Men, let's teach the Grey Warden a lesson about trust.
Going. Oh, right.
How am I supposed to live with no crafts to sell? I'll be ruined.
Can I interest you in something? I've got the finest selection of previously owned armour and weaponry this side of Val Royeaux. Why pay through the nose for new equipment when you can buy it like new for much, much less? Oh, here and there. Look, that's really not important. The important thing is, it's cheap. And just as good as what you'd find at a smithy. Oh, of course. And remember, everything's covered by Farron's 24-hour lifetime guarantee.
Those hunters from Oswin, the Regent strung them up like foxes.
He didn't.
He did, and he's proud of it too. Says that the other Banorn are gonna get the same.
I can't believe that. That's not right.
So tell me something. Do you feel pain when you get hit in combat?
This is when it squeals loudly and spurts blood about. This is when it feels pain.
Maybe. I've seen you take some bad hits. Don't you feel anything?
Anger, rage even, perhaps a little distress. Is this pain?
I'm not sure. I don't think I'd call it distress, exactly. It's more...
For me, it is more...
That sounds more like a bowel movement. I mean that sharp, stabbing... Like that?
No, nothing like that.
No? Huh. Good to know.
What can I do for you? This ought to be interesting. Such diction. This man is a true scholar and rhetorician. I am honored to be fired by one such as he. Good day.
Oh, you wish to talk to me? Truly, it's a courtesy for one so well-armed to notice a lowly merchant. Someone has to. Trade with other races can dry up. We surfacers are Orzammar's lifeline. Even if we're denied a caste, the Assembly says we've turned our back on the stone. But they still use the goods we bring. Hypocrites. Maybe it'll change by the time my children are grown. twice a year. I'm confined to a trade stall in the Commons, but I see enough. It's very closed in. My grandfather says I've lost my stone sense. I was born topside. I don't remember having it. Best of luck to you.
King Logain will not...
Vieta! This land is held in trust for the sovereign Dwarven kings. I cannot allow entry at this time.
King Logain demands the allegiance of the Desher, or lords, or whatever you call them in your assembly. I am his appointed messenger.
I don't care if you're the king's wiper. Orzammar will have none but its own until our throne is settled.
None more important than mine.
Your business will wait. Orzammar must limit outside influence until the throne is settled. No one gets in.
Who doesn't? If I don't get in, no one should.
Orzammar has no king. Endrin Idukan returned to the stone not 3 weeks ago, sick over the loss of his sons. The Assembly has gone through a dozen votes without agreeing on a successor. If it is not settled soon, we risk a civil war.
The Wardens killed King Cailan and nearly doomed Ferelden. They're sworn enemies of King Logain.
Well, that is the Royal Seal. That means only the Assembly is authorized to address it. Grey Warden, you may pass.
You're letting in a traitor? And a foreigner? In the name of King Logain, I demand that you execute this stain on the honor of Ferelden. What? Lies and slander! King Logain will not suffer this. I will not suffer it. I'm his messenger.
Kill each other as you will, but take your sodding fight off my doorstep.
Oh, you want to see some of the best previously owned Oh, of course.
Very nice, very nice.
You've done me a service. That fool Imrek was barking for a week. Are all humans so touched? You are free to enter Orzammar, Grey Warden. Though I don't know what help you will find.
A trust follow, Warden. Your arrival is a mixed blessing. We prefer that outsiders not witness our infighting, but your presence will be tolerated. Fair journeys, Warden.
How magnificent.
I haven't
These
eaten
must be
in
the
days.
statues of the Dwarven Paragons.
If only you had come at a less troubled time. For the love of Paragons, please. Bread. Please, sir. Just a bit of bread.
Now that's a thing
And
of
I'm
beauty,
off.
daughter. If you work hard like Branka, all Orzammar will know your name.
Mother, I don't want to be like her. She...
Don't say that! Not to me, not to anyone. Now get back to the forge. I want to see more details.
Yes, Mother.
Trust
Yes.
Vala, Warden.
Oh, right.
Show respect, Surfacer. You're in the Hall of Heroes, home to the best of us. Paragons, dwarves who achieve such greatness, they're considered ancestors even if they yet walk among us. If only we had one now. A unifier. A voice like that, there would be no dissension. Perhaps I don't want you to. A Surfacer should not see us in this kind of disarray. Goodbye, Warden. I hope you're not needed.
So this bird thing of yours?
I do not have a bird thing. I have an extremely justified rage of the flying vermin that plague this world.
But there are some birds that are useful. Like the ones you eat.
I approve of the ritual slaying of the foul beast, but it eats one? Disgusting.
Oh, they're really quite tasty. You just need to rip off the feathers first. I like the skin myself.
I think I'm going to be sick.
Ooh, golem vomit. This I have to see.
It is the Assembly who makes a king, and a king who nominates his successor. None of it is carried in the blood.
Or, as now, when someone tries using the Assembly to pull a coup. Who's to say what my father said in his final hours, when the usurper Harrowmont was the only one by his side?
I'll have you thrown in prison.
You've bitten off more than you can chew!
Handlers, separate these dashers in the Diamond Quarter. I will not have Balin incite a riot.
Not speak that way about the man who should be king!
I won't have fighting in the Commons, especially in front of outsiders.
That son of a fool, I'll have him in the Legion.
Vieta, Surfacer. I'm bid to let you walk the Commons, but keep your place. Warden or not, I want order. Surface problems. Well, we have no king to hear you. You can join the shouting at the Assembly in the Diamond Quarter if you want. Bunch of Desher lords bickering over sand. Balin, Harrowmont. Is one so different? No paragons here. They've caged themselves for fear of each other. As you've seen, keeping order down among us working people is dodgy. No place for a proper lord. Balin speaks through his second, Vartag Gavorn, in the Assembly. Lord Harrowmont speaks through Dulin Ferender from his estate. Surfacers appoint no paragons? Truly, you're lost in all that sky. They are the best of us, declared living ancestors. If you must be our warden, at least know us. Go to the Shaper of Memories in the Shaperate, the true bright spot in the Diamond Quarter. See, that's why I don't want you surfacers seeing our worst. You'll think that's all we are. The market is thin, but busy, and the tavern never closes. Bad blood is usually kept to the proving. Should toss Balin and Harrowmont in there, sort this all out in a hurry. Personal battles for honor and ancestor. I don't expect a surfacer to understand. If you must be our warden, at least know us. Go to the Shaper of Memories and... Yes, you should.
Did you see that? I cannot believe what this city has come to. This would never have happened when Endrin was alive. Aye. What a terrible burden for a father to have only Balin left of 3 fine sons. In the end, Endrin himself recognized that Balin cared for nothing but power. It was Endrin who ordered his son away from his deathbed and embraced Lord Harrowmont as his heir. Lord Harrowmont should be our king. He was King Endrin's closest advisor, the only one he could trust. Endrin himself, ancestors welcome him, asked the Assembly to endorse Harrowmont. Everybody knows he killed his brother Trian and let his father's favorite son take the blame. And many question whether Endrin died abed, as we were told, or whether Balin helped him along. Only as a potential match for one of his sons. He was a good king, stern and fair and just. He is a good man and a skilled general. King Endrin trusted him with his life, and I will do no less. He died in bed after his eldest son was murdered, and the Assembly condemned his second son for it. I cannot blame him for preferring to join the ancestors in eternal peace. Balin didn't murder him himself. You come at a sad time, stranger. I'm going home to wait it out. I suggest you do the same.
I should have stuck to common nugs. Now I've gone and lost them too. I'll never find them the way they skitter. No way I'm going back to that supplier in Dust Town. Guess I'm shutting it down. Gotta boil them before roasting, but otherwise no, safe as sand. Some people swear they make good pets. May as well leash a turnip, I say. Good on you, stranger. Only need one to turn this around. Go on, I'm out of the nug game, got nothing to sell. Saraka, I'm back in the game, such as it is. I don't have much besides gratitude, but find a bunch more of these and I'll toss you whatever I found.
Excuse me, do you have a moment? You look like you're not from around here. Oh, wonderful! I've been trying forever to find someone who really knows the surface world. I don't suppose you've heard of something called the Circle? Then I'm truly honored. I've never met an actual mage. Is it true you can manipulate nature's forces with your mind? Like you were born with lyrium in your veins?
Don't let the glamour fool you, child. Wielding magic is a dangerous occupation. A great responsibility.
I've been trying to reach someone there for years. I've sent missives with every caravan, but I never get a reply. I want to know if they would accept me for study. No dwarf has ever studied at the Circle of Magi. I guess you never read First Enchanter Caplin's treatise concerning dwarfs and the non-heritability of magic. He tested dwarfs from 20 bloodlines and found they couldn't perform any level of spell casting, regardless of lyrium exposure or time on the surface. The Circle speculates that lyrium in the stone shields us from spiritual influences, and over time made us immune to them. I want to go to the Circle to study. I don't want to do magic. No dwarf can cast spells, but I don't see why I shouldn't study it. It would be a valuable exchange. Orzammar would learn of one of the great natural forces of the surface. And the Circle gains direct access to our knowledge of lyrium smithing. That would be wonderful. My name is Dagna, daughter of Janar of the Smithcasts. Tell them I've already begun reading the Tevinter Imperium's Verticum Kadab, and it's just fascinating. Did you know the Imperial Magister Lords once had genealogies of every human family known to produce a mage child? Oh, I'll go pack my bags right now. I'll be waiting by my father's shop.
Greetings, and welcome to Garen Garrison's Luxury Goods Shop. Wow, there are a lot of you. And I've never seen one of those before. The things they come up with. What was I saying? Oh, I was hoping you wouldn't notice. Most people don't anymore. Well, maybe they're too polite to mention it. I had a little incident a few years back. Too much time with the raw lyrium ore, you know. Maybe it was a bad thing. I cut myself and the dust got straight in the blood. Since then, it's been a little hard for me to concentrate. Except when forging. Then I'm straight as an arrow. Best work you've ever seen. Look around the shop. See for yourself. Of course we are. Weak surfacers like you touch the raw ore, and you'll bleed from your eyeballs in hours. Weird seeing how big you are. Even surface dwarves lose it. Us down here, though, we should be able to handle it just fine. Only not too much, and not every day, and not breathing the dust, and not direct in the blood. Ancestors' own bad luck. Right. Best in the trade, you know. I worked the ore myself.
The deep roads are home to the Darkspawn now. Oddly, they're supposed to be safer to travel during a blight.
What's this? An elf? I'm sorry, but I cannot allow you past the front lines without Adesh's permission. And I've heard nothing of any new patrols scheduled to leave today.
Don't let the comm fool you. The Darkspawn are down there, aren't they, Commander?
Either we finally have the edge, which I doubt, or the beasts are building up numbers for the next attack.
The surface? But I thought the vermin never went up that far except
during blights. Ancestors save us if that's what's happening. Into the deep roads? Not without a full unit of soldiers to back you, my friend. Or Adesh's permission to risk yourself. Orzammar can't afford to lose its citizens or honored guests on casual visits to the deeps.
Of
course not. Down here, you're bound to run into giant spiders, deep stalkers, and other vermin. Alright, for your sake, I hope you've no reason to come here again.
Wow. So this is Orzammar. It's huge!
You're back? But it takes 2 weeks and 4 days minimum to make the journey to the Circle Tower.
I don't even know that. That's quite impressive.
And just a little disturbing. Why do I get the feeling charting routes to the Circle Tower is one of her favorite hobbies?
I'm guessing you haven't left yet. Here in Orzammar, we're surrounded by stone and tradition and more stone. Nothing ever changes. But to break every natural law by thinking about it, to dream and walk in a realm where everything you think comes true, I can't imagine anything more wonderful. I'll be waiting.
Oh, right.
Welcome to Jannar Family Armorers. I must say, you look like our type of people. Looking for a new set of mail. At Jannar's, we have everything from leather to platinum. Has she been bothering you? It's a whiff of surface stink, and she's like a cave tick. Won't let go. Ah, that girl. I've been telling her for years to give up those foolish notions. Magic's a human trick. If Dagna wants enchantment, I can apprentice her to a lyrium crafter.
This is Dagna's dream, if it makes her happy.
Do you even know what that means? If Dagna goes to the surface, she forfeits her caste. She'll never be able to marry or work in Orzammar again. Dwarves don't do magic. Dagna knows that. It's just a childhood fantasy that dies hard. Please, if you see her, send her back and let me talk some sense into her. Please, don't encourage Dagna further. Tell her you were wrong and that her place is with her family. I stay out of politics. It's not good for a smith to get the attention of those who grant vendors licenses. Lord Harrowmont's a fair man. My father did business with him, and he always paid on time. But the Idukans have served us well. If it is the ancestors' wisdom to keep them on the throne, I cannot object. For 100 generations. My father made his name by inventing a fall and tacit, which were integrated into the cuirass. But, I'm guessing by your face you're not a smith yourself. Of course, keep in mind we also take items on trade.
Ancestors guard my son. I'm sorry. Did you have an offering for the ancestors? Although, I can't imagine your ancestors reside in the stone. My name is Vilda, widow of Turak of the Smith caste. I pray here every day for my son, Ruck. I only wish I knew whether I should be asking for his safe return or for the ancestors to accept his soul. It was 5 years ago. He was only a youngster. He joined a Deep Roads excursion, the only smith to go with the warriors to repair their arms. He was so proud, but he got separated somehow. When they came home, he wasn't with them. The captains don't want to lose anyone searching for stray men. Too many were taken by Darkspawn that way. How? There is no way except to brave the deep roads yourself. Warden, so you could do it. Only wardens face the deep roads without a company packing them. Oh, thank you. The ancestors finally heed my prayers.
Take heart, good Widow Filda. We'll do our best.
Please, find me as soon as you return.
It's about time the Darkspawn started attacking the surface. They bothered us.
Topsiders? Good. Get some outside gold in here. Calm people down. Make them think we should open the gates for good. The more cracks in the old way, the better. That's what Balin stands for. Not your business, but I see where the gold is. He's the traditional pick, yet he wants a new way, whether some like it or not. Just as many say Harrowmont. Neither are paragons, and the scales being equal, I go with the promise of more trade. I'll take your gold. You're good for that.
Very nice indeed.
Maker's blessing on you, sister. I'm Brother Burkle of the Red Cliff Chantry, returned to my ancestors' land to spread the chant of light. I'm petitioning to open a chantry in Orzammar. There is resistance. It's obvious the world wasn't created by the mortal souls who dwelt within it. Yet the dwarves of Orzammar persist in worshipping their own forefathers. The Shaperate controls changes in Orzammar's structure and society. I need the Shaper of Memory's permission to open a prayer meeting. Oh, I'd hoped you'd say that. I can see the Maker's hand on your shoulder, guiding you always. Please let me know as soon as you've heard anything.
What is that smell? Dwarven vomit. Charming. I tried Dwarven ale once. I thought it was just something they tricked surfacers into drinking, as a joke.
Atrust Vala, stranger. You must be the Grey Warden we heard about. Welcome to Tapsters. I'm Cora, your hostess. How may I serve you? So you come to Tapsters? I guess you're not asking for anything official, or you'd be at the Shaperate. But I can certainly give you a mole's eye view. It's the Bureau of all the Shapers in Orzammar, led by the Shaper of Memories. If you're from the surface, I guess you'd call them scholars. They keep all of our records, laws, genealogies. You got questions about Orzammar's history, and don't mind answers in words as long as your leg, that's the place to go. The nobles stay upstairs, except when they're slumming. You'll find the assembly there, the palace, the Shaperate, and plenty of estates. Down from here is just Dust Town or the mines, so my recommendation is avoid. It's not part of the city, just some old tunnels where the Castless build their nest. No one goes there if they can help it. But if you want fun, your best bet is the Proving. A Grey Warden is always welcome in Tapsters.
Afternoon, stranger. You looking for a stool to share a brew? I recommend the Lycan Ale. They brew it downstairs. Name's Naveen. I fight with Prince Balin's Expeditionary Field Unit. Yourself? Figured as much. Good folks, Wardens. I was in the Deep Roads when that one came by. What was his name? Dukan, Dunka... something like that. I met him, sure. Good man. Solid. He knows what we go through in the Deep Roads. Not many do. Not even the ones who live this close. You have to be on the front lines. Darkspawn. Not much use in turning our weapons elsewhere while those vermin still live. I go where I'm sent, fight when I'm there, and leave politics where it belongs. Every Grey Warden ends up there. That's where they send you when you're ready to leave this world. Go die in the dark, putting away as many vermin as you can. Getting more crowded these days, though. Lots of people interested all of a sudden. We go back tomorrow, and we're not the only ones. Balin ordered us in at first bell. He's splitting us into 4 teams to search for some of the lost Tigers. Looking for signs of Bronca, I guess. Seems to be who everyone's after. Bronca was a paragon, some kind of great smith or whatnot. But she went batty and let her whole house into the Deep Roads more than 2 years ago. No chance she could have survived. And a lot of good men are gonna die looking for her corpse. Excuse me. This brew is starting to taste awful bitter.
In dwarven lager, svin verkar bölla.
Told him I don't understand why the provings aren't open to everyone. I mean, it's how they add Lord Dennick Helmy, honored Desher of the Orzammar Assembly, and terrible disappointment to my esteemed mother, who doesn't like me spending time in taverns. You understand what I'm saying, right? On the surface, there are no castes, and it works fine. Am I right, Warden? But there are those like you who see this with concern, no? Well, I've taken the time to actually talk to the other castes. You know, most smiths and tavern keeps would make decent deshers if we gave them a chance and a seat in the assembly. Orzammar is so mired in tradition, no one bothers asking if the castes are even necessary. Badly. Oh, you're serious? Well, it's simple, I guess. The king and elected deshers of the assembly are at the top. Then it's the nobles. Then the warriors and all the craftsmen. At the bottom are servants. The casteless and criminals are below even that. Your caste is determined by that of your same-sex parent. And that's where you stay your whole life, whatever your skill. Me and 79 other fine, upstanding examples of how someone who's born into every privilege inevitably wants more. They're not fond of my views on equality. I doubt either candidate has been outside the Diamond Quarter in his life. But Lord Harrowmont seems a bit more forgiving. Prince Balin's brilliant, I'll give him that, and subtle as sin. But I don't think anything in Orzammar matters more to him than winning.
As you wish.
They're everywhere! I can't take it! What? Get away! You'll change like the rest! Monsters hidden in all my friends! They follow you. Once you are in the story, they possess your friends and follow. See? I found copies. All from the same pen, and older than the ones in song. Dormant my ass! Take them! I want out! I won't disappear chasing a lie! I won't!
Oh, right.
You're back? But it takes 2 weeks and...
And why do I get the...
I'm guessing you haven't left yet. You talked to him? Of course he won't let me go. He wants to sell me off for the highest dowry. I don't care if I lose my caste. I'll stay on the surface forever. Thank you, thank you.
Has the Elder Mage ever encountered another golem?
I suppose there used to be one deactivated one stored in the tower's vault. I wonder what became of it. After all that's happened to the Circle, I'd be surprised if it isn't completely destroyed.
Why was it deactivated? Did it crush some arrogant mage's head after one too many commands?
I do not know, Shale. Perhaps it is just irreparably broken. I think it stayed in the tower because no
You're
one
the
could
best
move
wrangler
it.
I've ever
It's
seen.
Very old.
There's more out there.
I believe it came from Devinter a long time ago. Perhaps someone bought it so it would guard the tower.
Its people do enjoy their slaves, don't they?
It was not a slave. It is a
tool. As I thought. No, don't deny it. No.
Going.
So the closer you live to the surface,
have come at a
the
difficult
higher
time.
class you are.
Orzammar is
Unless you're
ailing
actually
for want
on
of
the
a
surface.
Could the end of Orzammar be nigh?
And I'm off.
No offense, but I've often wondered how you people get by with your awkwardly long limbs.
This has dragged on too long. It's an insult to Commander McNutt.
Lord Aramont, said to have kicked castless in the street. Does he respect none beneath his station?
Old King Endrin would weep to see Orzammar in such a state.
Thief! Who would dare take from the memories? Orden, I'm outraged. A thief in the Shapered. What have we been reduced to? I did. He was bald, with the most garish brand across his head. Almost like he took pride in being castless. Imagine! He's probably in the slums somewhere. As if he'd find a buyer for a stolen tome in Dust Town. They couldn't know the value.
Oh, pardon me. Were you looking for a particular volume?
Not that I could really help. I, don't know the libraries very well. I'm just doing some research. Not exactly, but... I'm looking for any birth records from the old Ortan Tig. It fell in the last blight, and my mother's family claims to be related. If I'm an Ortan, it means I'm noble. I'd have my own house, a seat in the Assembly. Unfortunately, any records would be buried in the Tig's ruins, somewhere in the deep roads. A Grey Warden? Mother always said that if anyone could find the Tig, it was the Wardens. I hear Prince Balin and Lord Harrowmont have both been sending out small teams these days. Yes, if you can find the Tig in any records, that could do it. That could prove I'm a noble. If you could. Maybe now that you're looking. It's almost too much to hope.
When I last walked this hall, Endrin was king and Orzammar was at peace. The memories often speak of the swiftness with which change overtakes us. But it is different to see it firsthand. I apologize, Warden. I should not burden a stranger with such thoughts. I am Zebor, the Shaper of Memories. The Grey Warden's visit has been recorded in the memories, along with all who accompany you. Ask, and I shall do my best to answer. All dwarves who die return to the stone as ancestors, to guide their families forever. But only one every few generations rises to Paragon. A Paragon is a dwarf whose accomplishments change Orzammar so much that the Assembly recognizes they've been born blessed. They are venerated as living ancestors and found a new noble house forever bearing their name. Branka is a Paragon, now and into death. She was born a smith, but her inventions caught the Assembly's eye. Before she had seen 20 years, she created a smokeless coal. It could burn in a cave without vents and no one would choke from it. It earned her Paragon status. She went into the deep roads 2 years ago seeking out secrets of the ancient smiths. She never returned. According to our legends, 7 brothers founded our empire. The youngest, Bloadlik, was the wisest and was chosen king. His children formed the noble caste. The eldest, Giachet, trained his sons to defend their king. They became the warrior caste. Shotgyar founded the artisans. Orzatyar forged our first swords. It was Orzammar who dug the mines that became our city's foundations. The twins Koapar and Noct both founded trading houses, but Noct was wounded in battle. On his recovery, he swore to serve his brother's sons. The casteless descend from criminals and those repudiated by their own families, or who chose to go to the surface and live by human laws. They have no ancestors to guide them and no families to claim them. They should not have been born. Their parents defied their shame and brought cursed children into the world. It's better they die young. Their births are not recorded in the memories. In Orzammar, they do not exist. Is there something more pleasant you wish to discuss? We were a great empire once, outnumbering even humans and elves. We traded with your Tevinter Imperium, and our land stretched as far in the deep roads as theirs did above. Kal Sharok was capital then, but we lost too many battles. We lost our golems, and we lost our territory. Now the Empire is simply ruined tunnels filled with darkspawn. The Paragon Caradon, a smith of unsurpassed genius, invented the golems. For years they were our weapon against the darkspawn. One golem is worth 12 dwarves in battle, but Caradon's Tig is far into the deep roads. When it fell, we lost his secret to creating golems. There are books about it along these walls if you would read more. Yes, we have only a few dozen left in Orzammar, and I do not recognize this one. Where did you find it? Every golem is precious to us. We'd pay a good sum for a new find.
I'd sooner jump into a pit of lava.
Unfortunate. Was there anything else? I must tell the rest of the Shaperate about this discovery. At the other side of the old empire, during the last blight, the kings of Orzammar knew they couldn't hold everything. They sealed the deep roads, abandoning everyone still trapped in far-flung settlements. It was the only way to survive. Kal Shirak is the only other city to outlast the blight. We only rediscovered them recently, and they still haven't forgiven us. I will settle your mind if I can, Warden. Please, speak your mind. That is an odd request, especially for one so new to our city. I thought so. This is not the first time he's made this plea. My answer to Brother Burkle hasn't changed. So I ask you the same. On what basis would you have me insult the ancestors and overturn 2,000 years of tradition? He seems a charitable man, but that is a thin thread on which to tie Orzammar's traditions. Very well, he may hold a prayer meeting as he requested, if not build a new temple to his god. At least the words would come from one of our own. Now, is there anything more? I will record this conversation in the memories. I hope I do not come to regret it.
Going. Going. And I'm off. Oh, right. Yes.
Warden, welcome. It is always a blessing for Orzammar to host your order. I am Vartak Gavorn, top advisor to our good Prince Balin. What news do you bring? Ah, ancient documents indeed. These were signed in the reign of Eithnar Bimo, Paragon and King. That was 16 generations ago. Now the difficulty is that the treaty only compels our king, and we are sadly lacking one of those right now. You must understand, Haramont hides behind his good reputation while sending spies and assassins. Balin can't know who to trust. It's been like a knife in the heart for Balin to see so many of his father's men stand with the usurper. Haramont has engaged in a campaign of bribery and coercion to ensure that every house serves him. But if a neutral party, a stranger, were to approach certain key members, perhaps with irrefutable evidence of Harriman's deception...
Irrefutable evidence? Which I suppose you have?
I'm certain my Lord Prince would show his gratitude. Harriman promised the same portion of his estate to two different Deshers, Lady Dace and Lord Helmy. Harriman can't possibly grant it to both of them, but they won't find out until after the vote is cast. I have copies of the promissory notes Harriman gave each of them. Once they see those, they should both reconsider their votes. That's not important. If they ask, say you found them while searching the Shaper's libraries for your treaty. Lady Dace doesn't leave the quarter much, but Lord Helmy's adventurous, likes to spend his time at Tapster's in the Commons. Remember, don't tell them you got these papers from me. You learned of them and drew your own conclusions.
The Assembly is in session. Enter quietly if you wish to observe.
Your mind has gone to dust if you think we would pass such a writ. Half our houses would go broke without the service trade.
The proposal is only effective until we have a king to ensure we are respected by the surfacers.
Leaving you conveniently positioned to take over all contracts. I'll see your head on a pike first.
Deshers, lords and ladies of the Assembly. I've already doubled the guard to prevent violence. Must I summon more?
Steward Bandanor, Balin's sympathizers are tying our hands with trivialities. They may as well open us to the sky.
I suggest we put the matter to a vote.
And I suggest you have a taste of my family's mace.
Enough! The Assembly is in recess until the members can regain control of their emotions. Stone-forsaken fools and dusters. I'm sorry. This is the Assembly of the Clans. Only Deshers and occasional guests of state are allowed in. Forgive me. I am so exhausted. I completely forgot about the message from the Gate Guard. Welcome to Orzammar, Warden. I hope you can forgive our unrest. The loss of our king has hit us hard. Respect for your role is great, but you won't receive a proper hearing until we have a king on the throne. I must admit, Warden, I am at a loss myself. It lies with Prince Balin or Lord Harriman, and they are slow to trust anyone in these uncertain times. I only wish there was more I could do for you.
I heard there was a Grey Warden here. I am Dulin Forrender, second to Lord Harriman, King Endrin's own choice as successor. Word is spreading that the surface may suffer a blight. It is shameful we are not in a better position to help. That may be, and that is a terrible risk for the surface. But even if the world would end tomorrow, Lord Harriman cannot ignore Balin today. He cannot afford to trust anyone of unproven loyalties. That's a generous offer. If you mean it, you might attend the proving today. The Deshers take it very seriously. And unfortunately, Balin found some way to blackmail or intimidate House Harriman's best fighters into stepping down. That would be enlightening. Though I hope you won't pry too deeply into things they don't wish revealed. If you wish to show your loyalty, enter the proving as his lordship's champion. With your order's reputation, I've no doubt the ancestors would favor your arm. Balin would never work with anyone who humiliated him in that way. Harriman would have no fear of meeting with you then.
Excellent. The arena is located off the Commons. Talk to the Proving Master and tell him you're entering Lord Harriman's roster. The key fighters we lost were Guidon and Beisel. You can look for them in the fighters' preparation chambers behind the ring. And be sure it's before the fights begin. After the first bout, no one may change the roster. If you need to find me again, I will wait in the Tapster's Tavern off the Commons. There is no better place to hear gossip. Perhaps even word of your victory.
Huh.
No one enters the prince's estate without an invitation.
Right. Going. Going.
Here I am.
Yes.
Ancestors. Good on you, Warden. You caught them in the act. I guess desperate times drive people to strange things.
Oh, right.
Thanks again, Warden.
And I'm off. Yes.
Lord Balin is the voice of change and defense. Lord Haramont is the
I hope you'll support Lord Haramont.
What do you want? Ah, I suppose you're the Grey Warden everyone's talking about. Well, this isn't exactly a surface broadsheet. Where did you get these? Never mind. It is true enough, but there's nothing I can do about it. This deal was made on behalf of our entire house. Only my father can revoke it. He is leading a deep roads expedition, trying to secure an ancient thaig. It's unlikely he'll be back before the election, but perhaps this vote is important enough for you to brave the tunnels to tell him? The Dace family would be in your debt. Thank you. He was searching an old Idukan site. He left me with this map, in case his expedition never returned. I'll give you a pass as well. Usually, no one is allowed past the front lines. Good luck.
Raise your voice in support of Lord Haramont, the one true king of Orzammar.
You have come at a difficult time.
2 years tomorrow. By all the holy sodding ancestors, how can you people just ignore that?
Bronca didn't go alone, Opera. She took the whole house, everybody but you. So just get over to Tapster's and drown yourself already. You know as well as I do that's how this always ends.
You think I'm afraid of some cub warrior who's barely off the teat? Ha!
You lift a weapon or attack a single citizen in Orzammar, and you're stripped of your caste and exiled. Even you can't have forgotten that. Get out of here before I call a guardsman.
I'm only asking because you never know who's gonna get hungry. Right. Best in the trade, you know.
So, I've been hearing rumors that a certain wine merchant is falling behind on his payments.
I can't imagine what you mean. I pay my expenses.
What about the expenses your good friend Jarvia incurs when providing your protection? It's not easy ensuring nothing bad happens, that no one decides to just burn everything in your store.
My store! Please, I don't have much. Business isn't good. People are scared. Tell Jarvia I'll get her money.
Jarvia is not happy with your promises, old man. Now let's go inside and see what you've been holding back.
This is all I have right now. I could get more if I sell something.
Well, well. Looks like we have a visitor. Friend of yours?
Is there a problem here, friend? Are these men threatening you?
Please, don't get involved with this. You don't know what they're like.
Then allow me to make some introductions. These are dangerous times in Orzammar, stranger. Lucky us, the merciful Jarvia is offering protection from the chaos. You're wearing some fancy stuff there. Might make you a target. So if you want the Carta's guarantee of safety, it's yours for the reasonable price of 10 gold sovereigns. Or I can't say what might happen. You really should learn more about the places you visit. The Carta is the foundation of business in Orzammar. It's a commercial venture of like-minded individuals who make money in whatever way suits their talents. You say protection racket, I say honorable business. You say thief, I say dead elf. Whoa, whoa! All right, you win. I'm not gonna die for 10 lousy sovereigns.
Ancestors, bless you for saving my poor store. I don't know how to express my gratitude. I've never met her, of course. They say she never leaves Dusttown. That's, the older area of the city where the casteless congregate. She's the one directing this depravity. Since good King Endrin died, they're getting bolder. They used to be a problem only in Dusttown, but now they're in the Commons, shaking honest men down for coin. I'm showing you the lowest prices I can afford, I assure you.
Very nice indeed.
Why are you smiling like that? You look suspiciously like the cat that swallowed the pigeon.
Canary.
What?
I look like the cat that swallowed the canary.
I once had a very large cat, but not my point. My point is, why are you smirking?
You were watching her, with great interest, I might add. In fact, I believe you were enraptured.
She's our leader. I look to her for guidance.
Oh, I see. So what guidance did you find in those swaying hips? Hmm?
No. I wasn't looking at, her hindquarters.
Certainly.
I glanced in that direction, maybe, but I wasn't staring. Or really seeing anything, even.
Of course.
I hate you. You're a bad person.